Okay, so my plant shelf has not been looking its best lately and I'm kind of getting sick of it, so we are going to do something about that together today. I've got a list of things that I want to do. I don't know if we'll get to everything, but the most important thing I want to do right now is move some plants around. I don't know if you can see, this shelf is just looking, it's terrible. I'll show you guys closer here in a second, but that's like the first thing I want to do is kind of move plants around, see if I can make it look a bit nicer. I also need to treat for pests. I want to make a humidity bin for some plants that need some extra humidity. I want to make a prop box because I just have like a little one right now. They're not getting enough space. And then I do want to put some epipremnum albos on a moss pole, but we'll see if we get to that. But now I'm just going to show you everything up close, show you what I'm talking about, and then we'll get started. So here's the setup right now. Let me actually scoot back a little bit. There's the setup. The only shelf that I'm really happy with right now is my little succulent shelf. I'll take you in here. I am obsessed with how this looks, but I am going to be moving some of these plants off the shelf and then rearranging it. So we'll see if I still love it after that. But I had to show you guys. I just got a bunch of new lithops and succulents and I'm just like obsessed with them. I don't know. I can't get over it. This shelf right here is this I am not proud of at all. I mean, all of these plants are kind of struggling. This one is one of these guys that need humidity, like the leaves kept coming out all mangled. My variegated leopard lily is coming in stretched. I don't know if it's just lighting or what. I'm gonna put that in the humidity bin as well. My string of turtles is yellowing. I was so excited when I got it to that point, but now it's just not doing well anymore. I don't know what to do. But yeah, this shelf, just everything together, it's not looking great. I want to put some of these bigger plants over there. And then this is just kind of my like rehab shelf. This is where I'm going to be putting the humidity bin and the extra prop box that I'm making, so I'm not too worried about the way that this one looks. And then on this shelf, I have my 20-gallon fish tank there, and I do want to put a 10-gallon here eventually, so I've got to kind of move plants here too. But the thing is, I'm not going to be able to get a fish tank here for a while, so do I prioritize that? Probably not, but we'll kind of just see what happens. This shelf right here is going to be my priority, so I'm going to start here, and I'm going to clear off the shelf and wipe it down and just kind of go from there. Also, my roommate's cat is kind of insane, so you'll be able to hear her in the background. I don't know if it's going to be a problem. I hope not, but I apologize. This is also the shelf that has pests right now, so I'm gonna go through and kind of look at everything and do some treatments there as well. A lot of the plants that I have are kind of short, so I've got these pots that I want to try stacking them on, just to give some extra visual interest. So I'm going to start with the corners where I want them to be taller. I know for sure I want to put this guy on this shelf, but I also really need to repot that. I just don't know if I want to do that today. This guy's also got a lot of dead stuff on it. So I'm just gonna sit here and trim all this off for a second. I actually just barely got this plant and I was so excited because this is one I wanted for a while. I just haven't found like the specimen that I wanted, you know what I mean? But this guy was such a good price, I could not turn it down, and I think it's actually so cute. Okay, so this one I want to stack, I want to kind of lift it up in the corner here. So I think I'm going to take one of these pots and just flip it upside down. And then I'm just going to put it on there. I mean, I actually kind of like the way that looks. Here, let me adjust you guys. That's kind of cute. I like that. Okay, next I think I'm going to try and get my Hoya pubicalyx splash from down there. It seems like it's getting too much light on this shelf. It's a really high power grow light, so I'm going to move it up. But I just don't know if I'm going to have enough room with the trellis thing that it's on. So we're going to test it out. I actually think I'm going to put it in this pot. That would be kind of cute. Let's see. Let's go ahead and put this here. The only thing that concerns me is, let me show you. All of these little like vines are sticking up here and they want somewhere to go, but there's not enough space. So I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it there for now. We'll kind of mess with it. But this is what I'm talking about when I say that I think it's getting too much light. It's kind of got some like yellowing, and I'm pretty sure that that's from too much light, but if you guys have any other suggestions, please let me know. I don't want this plant to die. I'm kind of like, I don't know, this plant means a lot to me. Okay, the other plant I'm thinking about putting up here is this one. I really like how it looks right there, but I think with wanting a fish tank here, it's just gonna be too much. And I'm also like, I don't know, I like to frame my shelves with things hanging down, and right here I've got this micins, but I don't really have anything right here, so I think I'm gonna use that. I don't know, that might be too much. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm gonna play with it a little bit. It might be too much. The other thing I just realized is if I put this plant here, there's no lights on this side of the shelf, so all of these leaves are just gonna face inwards, and I think that's gonna look really weird. So I think I'm just gonna put it back where it was, honestly. You'll have to let me know what you guys think. And just while this is on my mind, I'm gonna give this a water. This plant gets a little neglected, I will admit. Okay, so now I'm just gonna move some of my taller plants up here. I was going to put my Hoya Crimson Princess and Crimson Queen on this shelf, but if I can leave it on the succulent shelf, I would like to, so I'm gonna mess with other things before I get to these. I have been meaning to move my variegated heartleaf philodendron that's on a pole up here because it's kind of getting neglected. It's hard to reach over there and it's drying out too much. So I'm gonna grab that and put it up there, see if it fits. It is not doing hot right now. Let me get some better lighting. Yeah, it's really not doing the best right now. It used to be more full. This vine had all of the leaves, and this is the only one that's on it now. So this was the original vine that we put on the moss bowl, but then I chopped it here, and instead of focusing on this growth point, it has shot out like a million little growth points from this side, this being one of them, which has put out no variegation on the leaves. But if you look closely, this vine has so much variegation on it. I'm like really hoping that this leaf is gonna look so pretty, and then from there it's just gonna keep going. But I don't know, this just doesn't have the best genetics right now, so I'm not super hopeful, but we'll see. That just like, oh, I'm so excited to see what this looks like. Okay, this I'm not entirely sure about. I might end up moving it here under my Soltech grow light, so I'm just gonna kind of leave this here until I kind of fill out the shelf, see how it looks, and if I'm not liking it, then I'll just move it. So I'm just gonna grab all of the taller plants that were here before and start putting them in. I also have this guy. He's not doing well either. You know what? I might even start fresh because it's kind of yellowing. It's not looking great. I might just chop this. I don't really like how this looks and I don't want it on the shelf. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that actually. Oh, I kind of hate doing this, but it's an alocasia. It'll grow back. Oh. You know what, I decided I'm actually going to wipe down the leaves on everything I put on here just because a lot of them are dusty and they also pest, so I'm just going to go ahead and kill two birds with one stone. This guy is also probably due for a repot, maybe. I don't know. It's just very top heavy, and I'm not really planning on putting this one on a trellis. I like that it vines, or that it hangs. Don't know what to do about how top heavy it is. I was thinking about repotting this plant. I'm just not liking how it's in this pot, how it's sitting in this pot. But I was wondering if I should split them up and do a smaller pot, or if I should just rearrange them in the same pot. But I think that's future me's problem, so let me know what you guys think. Yeah, because like, which way is the front with this one? Because that side looks bad. That's kind of awkward. This side looks bad. I don't know. It's just not great. Okay, yeah, I'm sitting here trying to figure out where to put this, and I think that this is just gonna be in the way. So I'm gonna put this on this other shelf over here, and I think that's gonna go here. Now I'm gonna stick this guy in here, except I'm gonna hurry and clip off all of the blooms. Where's my scissors? Like, look at this. It's got, how many is on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, it's just putting out so many flowers, which makes me think it's happy, but it's yellowing, so I don't know what's going on here. Alright, so I'm definitely overwatering this guy, so I'm going to take a step back. I'm not going to check the roots just yet. If it continues to go downhill, then I'll probably have to repot it, which scares me so bad. This is a plant that I've wanted to keep well for so long, but trial and error, I'm learning. But yeah, I think I'm just overwatering it. Okay, so this is my philodendron heartleaf. This was part of my variegated plant, but it completely reverted. And I was really liking how it was growing, but clearly it's kind of going downhill, and I think that it's because it needs a bigger pot. All the younger leaves are coming in really tiny, and I'm starting to see roots come in the bottom, so I think I'm gonna repot this with you guys today. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this on the floor. I don't really want to clear off my desk right now. So there's my potting mat. I'm gonna be using Molly's Arrowing mix for this, and then here's my pot. So yeah, I think it's gonna appreciate that. Plus it's really top heavy, and that will kind of fix that issue. I wonder if it even is, because sometimes, I'm like, not all the time roots coming out of the bottom is a signal of a root bound plant, but it's kind of my hunch with this one, but we'll see. Okay. The roots also just don't look great. I am a terrible underwaterer, so I think that also could be this guy's problem. Okay, let's see. Get this out of the way. I did also just get a restock from Berry Plants of some Molly's Mix, and I've been loving this stuff. I do have a discount code if you guys are interested. And yeah, like I said, I just barely got a little restock. So I've been planning on putting like all of my plants that need a refresh in this stuff. I'm just going to, where are my scissors, cut off the yellow leaves on this, and like I said, wrap the other vine around in the soil. It's kind of where I've been putting all my trash today. I just want like a really full pot of this stuff, but every time I try and grow it, it puts out these really teeny leaves, and I'm not sure why. So if you know. Okay, I'm also gonna spray this one down with that pesticide real quick before I wind it up. Okay, I just decided to wrap the one vine around. I'm gonna leave this one out, but there's what it's looking like, and I'm gonna get this on the shelf. I'm actually wondering if I should just go ahead and repot this one while I'm at it. I don't even know if it needs it. Let's check. I'm kind of scared. Yeah, no, it doesn't need it. It's just really top heavy. But what do I do about that? You know what I am gonna do while I'm here though, is I have this philodendron, well it's two types, Congo Rojo, and I think this is like the Golden Goddess or something like that, but I put them together and I kind of regret that choice, so I think I'm going to separate them just while we're on the floor already. And they have not been getting enough water in this, so it's probably time anyway. Well, let's see. Kind of little still. Ooh, look how red those roots are. Look at those. That's so cool. I love that. I'm gonna go grab some pots and I'll be right back. Okay, keeping the orange theme, I've just got these. I do have these pots linked in my Amazon storefront. I'm actually kind of obsessed with them. If you look, like pretty much all of my plants are in them. So yeah, if you want to see those, I've got a link. You know, I'm honestly not a huge fan of these types of philodendron. I think they just grow so funky, which is, I think, one of the reasons I never got into pink princesses. And still to this day, like I went to a Home Depot to go get a couple plants yesterday, but I'm like looking at all the new plants, and I do like a second wraparound, and I noticed that there was literally a pink princess there, and I completely skipped over it because I'm just so uninterested in them. So yeah, that is how I feel about these philodendron. Okay, so the camera died while I was repotting this guy, so I went ahead and finished repotting these. And while you were charging, because I don't have an extra battery, I also figured out a solution for that top heavy Hoya. I don't know if the lighting is very good right here, sorry. But I ended up putting it in this little ceramic pot that I made in high school with some foam to kind of keep it in place, and I mean it worked really well and it's not too bad. It's not too ugly, so yeah, there's that. Okay, so here's where we're at. I don't know if I want to keep these guys on the shelf or if I want to put them in the humidity bin. I think I'm going to try keeping them out here and see how it does. And now I'm just going to bring over the rest of the plants that I'm not putting in the humidity bin, and we're going to do some rearranging. Since you guys have last seen, I put the stream turtles on this side. I think I'm going to leave this here. I like that. These shorter plants, I want to put the shorter ones in front, obviously, so I got to figure out which ones those are going to be. This one back here for now, that one. Okay. I think it's time to graduate this from the rehab shelf. This is the Cebu Blue that we grew from wet sticks on my TikTok. This was kind of like a really popular experiment that we did. So here's how that's doing. And like I said, I think it's time to take it off the rehab shelf. I think it looks well enough to put in with the rest of them. So let's see, what do I want to do? I want to put this guy here maybe. There. The only thing is, it's got a white pot, which is fine. I'm just kind of picky. I want everything to kind of like look good together. I'll probably end up repotting this eventually, but for now I'm just gonna set it here. You know what? I thought about it, and if I can just easily plop this into one of my orange pots, I think I will. We're gonna try it out. I am being a little bit picky here, but I don't know. It just doesn't really fit in with what I'm going for, and I may as well try. Okay, if I don't have to replace all of the soil, I don't want to. So I'm just gonna see if this will all come out in one piece. That would be lovely. Okay. It's not... I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna ignore that. I'm just gonna leave that the way that it is. Okay. See, that was easy enough. Yeah, see, doesn't that just look so much better? I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little water because it was thirsty. Okay, I think that might be this shelf done. What do you guys think? Should I have tried anything else? Should I move anything else? I do think it looks a million times better than what it looked like before. So I'm really happy with that. And I get to keep the Hoyas for the bottom shelf, which we are going to work on next. Okay, not a lot has changed on this shelf just yet. I do think that I want to, let me get over here. I do think that I want to switch this pearls and put it over here. And just leave this one here. I'm going to prop this one up on the taller pot because it's a lot longer, and I think I'm gonna put this one on what that one is on, so there's like some height difference there. So I'm gonna scoot everything over and then we'll just start with that. Hey, I'm gonna pull this up, you guys. Just wait for this one. This one has needed to be like hung for the longest time, but I don't have anywhere to hang it, so it's kind of it's pretty tangled. So look at that mess. Oh, I don't want to deal with that right now. So yeah, we're going to put this there. And then this one I am just going to put on here. I actually can take these off now. Should have done that a minute ago. Now to put this guy over here. I think that will just look a little bit better there. There's that. I think I'm gonna trade these guys. I'm gonna put the taller Hoya on this side since the pearls on the other side is taller. Let's see. What do I think? Do I want to put anything else over here? Not really, that's pretty much it. The only thing is that keeps falling over. Maybe I scoot this over here more. It's not awful. I don't hate that. I mean, ideally this would be more sturdy and I could just set this right here, but it's not. Do I have a stake? Ooh, look, I have a stake. And then that just makes things so much easier. Ah, see, I love that. Cute. I do think that I'm gonna move this just over here though. Okay. Okay, it's not looking bad. There's just a lot of empty space. Can you see over here? There's just a lot of empty space here and in that corner, which isn't terrible. I'll probably just space things out. They don't need to be so clumped. But so far that's not bad. All right, camera died again, but this is where we got to. I had a bunch of lift ups in here, but with them in there, it kind of like, it was so empty on the shelf, so I took them out, and I think I'm gonna use this as a succulent propagation box, but I'm gonna do a TikTok out of that one, so I'm not gonna do that yet. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it looks. I kind of liked it better before, but I think this will warm up on me. I do like it though. I'm happy with how this turned out. Let me know what you guys think. Now the last thing we have to worry about is this shelf, which doesn't look awful. I'm just gonna move these guys and then I'm gonna set up the humidity bin because I'm gonna put those in there, and then I have a few more plants that are just kind of hanging around that I'm gonna put in there. So let's just go ahead and make that humidity bin. It is gonna go on the shelf where that one is. So I'm gonna move some things around, but yeah, I literally just have to put plants in a bin, so let's just go ahead and do it. Okay, so here's the bin I'm gonna be using. So I just covered these up with some packing tape, but I left a couple just for some ventilation. And I was debating on whether I wanted to put like a layer of leca in the bottom, but I think I'm just gonna go with a jar that has some leca and charcoal in it just to keep like the humidity pretty high. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Let me grab my charcoal. And my leca. I'm just putting the charcoal in here to keep the water from kind of going bad. And then the leca, I think we'll just keep it from evaporating too much. I don't even know if I'm doing too much here, but I think it's fine. Alright, so that's kind of what I ended up with. I don't know, was that dumb? I could have just had a jar of water, but I thought this looked a bit more interesting. But I'm gonna put that in here. And I don't have too much to put in here. I've got my variegated leopard lily, which hasn't been doing super great. It doesn't look bad, but it's getting really leggy. And I don't know too much about these plants, but with other plants, that's usually because it's not getting enough light. So I'm assuming that's what it is. So I'm gonna put it in a spot where it's gonna be closer to the grow light. And they also do like humidity, I've noticed. So we'll see how that does in here. It might be too big, actually. You know what, maybe I won't. I do have some babies. Maybe I'll experiment with the babies. I'll put the babies in here because they're a bit smaller. These are the babies. I'll put these guys in here to see if they do better, and if they do, then I'll keep that in mind for the mama. Okay. And then this one, like I said earlier, has been putting out mangled leaves. It gets like stuck in here. It gets stuck when the leaves are coming out, and then it just gets all bent, except this one looks like it's coming out fine. So maybe it's resolved itself, but I'm still going to put it in here. It's got some really pretty variegation on its leaves when it's looking better than this. This one's not looking great. Okay, and then I've got my bird's nest fern. Just figure it'll appreciate the humidity a bit more than being out in the dry Utah air. So that will go in here. And then if I can fit them, I'm gonna put my alocasia in here as well. I might repot this one over here. This I think might be too big. These grow really fast. This is my alocasia regal shield. These size up like really fast. So if I don't have space, I'll leave this out. I think it'll be fine. And then this is my alocasia bambino, which has a tiny baby leaf, which is new. And this one I just am gonna cut off. But I'm gonna put this one in here for sure. I think that'll benefit. Cut this off. It does look like it's putting out some new growth on this one though. You can see that there. So maybe I'll repot this one too. This soil is kind of gross. Okay, let's see. Let's do this one first because I know that this one really needs it. Wow. Okay, wait. I need to rearrange this for you guys. So this is what I pulled out of that pot. So that's clearly doing really well. I'm gonna pot it a bit deeper to get this stuff under because it looks like there's some growth. And then let's see what this one looks like. This one too. Oh boy. I'm just gonna use this mix that I put together. It's coco coir, worm castings, some like fine orchid bark, a lot of perlite, it's a very perlite heavy mix, and then some charcoal. I do really love alocasia, but I haven't had the best luck with them. Being in Utah, the weather, or the humidity is so much lower, and I don't know, I just don't have a lot of luck with keeping the humidity up, and they never do well. But I'm hoping that with this bin that I'm gonna put them in, that they'll do a little bit better. One of my like a dream plants right now though is the alocasia Jacqueline. I'll put a picture on the screen of what they look like. I'm like totally obsessed with them, and I hear that they size up really fast, and I love a big alocasia. So yeah, that's like top of my wish list at the moment. Oh, also an alocasia fried egg, but the variegated version, I do want both of them. I want both of the alocasia fried eggs, but the variegated version is so beautiful. I just know with my humidity issues, it would not like me very much, but I do really want to try that one out. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with these two because not much else is gonna fit in here. Not as much as I'd like to anyway, but I think that's fine. These will definitely benefit. I'm gonna give them, I think all of them need water, so I'm gonna give them all a little water and call that good. These are the Repotting tetrasperma that we're doing a little propagation experiment with on TikTok. I wanted to put them in here, but I just don't think they'll fit actually. They're fine. I'll just put them on the rehab shelf. So I'm gonna put the lid back on them, and then I've got to clear off the shelf that this is going on. So let's go take a look at that. Okay, I was going to do a little propagation walks, but I don't have time, so we'll have to do that in another video. But for now, I'm gonna slide this guy right here. Let's put this back here. Now I've got to figure out this shelf because I need to put more here that will fit. Okay, I think that these are gonna fit on the top shelf up here, so I'm gonna move those. These are another propagation experiment that we're doing on TikTok if you wanted to go check that out. These are abosynconiums. Some moss. I'm gonna throw those away. Moss. Just got a lot of moss. I want to consolidate those eventually, but not today. More moss and more moss. Except everything that's in this bin is pretty much dead, so I'm not too worried about it. Getting enough light with these on top of it. I'm gonna put that down here on the back. So there's that shelf, and maybe I'll do something about this one. Just gonna move this over. No, I kind of hate that. Oh, I'll mess with that later. Okay, now that I decided not to put this in the humidity bin, I've got to figure out how to put it on here. But let's rearrange this. Because I don't know if I want it like front and center. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. There's that shelf done. This one still looks a bit rough, so I'm gonna clean this one up real quick. I'm gonna move those. I'll just shove these here. You know what? I might move this guy down a shelf, and then let's put these guys together. I'm gonna keep them together. So I think that I'm fine to just leave these here. I do plan on putting another plant on a moss bowl, and I'm gonna put that here as well. But I don't think I'm gonna do that in this video. Let me show you what I want to do though. I've got these two Epiprimnum albos that look a little bit crazy right now. This one has some gorgeous variegation on it, so I really want to put this on a moss bowl. I think that it would mature so beautifully. I'm honestly gonna leave these here until then. I think that's all I needed to worry about. Like, all the plants are under lights now. Ooh, do you guys want to see something exciting? Can you see that back there? My Hoya White Eddie Eye has been so happy under my Soltec light. It's flowering for me. And this is the first time I've ever had a Hoya bloom, so I'm so excited. I'm obsessed with Hoya blooms. I've always wanted them to bloom for me, but they never have. I also have a bloom on my Curtisii. Let's see. Right there. It's starting to, except I just don't think that that's going to go all the way. Okay, I think that's pretty much done. I'm just gonna clean up the mess that I've left myself, and then we'll do like a little overview. Okay, so there's that all put together and cleaned up. I'm actually so happy with this. I was getting really sick of the way that it looked before, so This is such a relief for me. Oh, you know what I want to try actually? I think I want to try putting my micins on this side because you know how I was talking about how I like to frame my shelves with plants that hang? This one already has some stuff hanging, so I might switch that over to this side. Let's go ahead and try it. And this plant is just not doing super great. So I do want to do some work on that, but I think it would be nice to have some framing there. What do you guys think? Do you like it better on the other side or do you like it on this side? I'm gonna leave it here for a few days, see how I like it. I think we're done. The only things that I didn't do is the prop box and putting the Epipremnum albo on a moss bowl, but I can do that in another video. I do have some other plants I want to repot, so we'll maybe just do a little plant chore video. Just give you a little close up of each shelf. Hey. You're really cute and I love you, but you just don't stop meowing. I know. I know. Oh boy. Okay, so here's the shelf. I'm really happy with it. It looks a lot more full and I love the depth. There was not much depth before. This shelf I didn't do anything to. I don't have much to put up here, so I kind of just left it. Here's the succulent shelf. All of my new little babies. Okay, come on. You need to leave that alone. I know, you just want love. You just want to be picked up. I know, baby, I know. Jay, just give me a second, baby. Okay, where was I? Yes, this shelf. I was worried that I would have to move the Hoyas up to this shelf, make it look a little bit more full. So I'm glad I was able to keep those on this shelf, and I'm loving how everything looks. And now there's this shelf. Again, like I mentioned, temporary. I do also have a different plan for my moss bowl plants, so this is going to be changing. This is not permanent. And then the rehab shelf. There's a humidity box. I think those will do a lot better down there. There's this shelf. Nothing on here looks too good. And then that shelf. Okay, she just really wants to be held right now, so we'll do the little outro with her. But I hope you guys kind of liked this. I'm new to YouTube a little bit, so trying to figure everything out. I'm excited though, because I've been wanting to do this for a while and I figured it's time. Like, I need to stop putting it off, so I'm excited. Let me know what you guys think. And if you're here from TikTok, then say hi in the comments. I'd love to know how many of you followed me here. But yeah, if you want to see more planty videos, then go ahead and subscribe. I do also plan on getting fish tanks, but it's gonna be a future thing. But if you're interested, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. And so will B. B will probably see you next time too. Well, because you're just needy. Just a needy baby.